Good morning. When I had the honor of being selected by my colleagues to become the chairman of this subcommittee, one of my first priorities was seeing how I could bring equity to the rail sector. Unfortunately, I've since learned that much work still needs to be done to ensure that everyone has a fair shot at obtaining work on federal passenger rail contracts. The first question I asked when I got the gavel was how we could strengthen the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program at the Federal Railroad Administration. Imagine my surprise when I found out that there was no DBE program at the FRA. To be clear, today's hearing is not to debate the merits of creating a program. The purpose of today's hearing is to allow business owners to share their experiences of working in the rail sector. We're going to hear uncomfortable stories of very real discrimination that our witnesses have suffered. Today, our responsibility is to listen and reflect on each person's experience. I'd be remiss if I didn't share my own experience. The question is often asked, how do you know when you are being discriminated against? I know as a Black man, I know that feeling when people treat you differently because of the color of your skin. I know that when companies conspire against a supplier to shut out the only minority firm manufacturing a particular product, you're being discriminated against. I was fortunate because of the government intervention that particular discrimination was stopped, although others have not been so lucky. The experiences we are going to hear today from our panel will be different than mine. The point of holding this hearing is to try to understand someone else's experience. I do not know what it is like to experience discrimination as a member of a different minority group, or what discrimination women face in an industry dominated by men. That is why we have invited a diverse panel of witnesses to share their unique experiences. I commend our witnesses for being courageous enough to share extremely personal and often painful experiences that should not happen in any setting, and least of all, in professional settings. It is not easy to come forward and describe discrimination when discrimination has happened to you, but it is necessary. It's a necessary story to tell. I encourage all members to listen closely to these experiences. Some members may have gone through similar things, and others may have not. We can't change what happened to our witnesses, but we have the privilege and the responsibility of being able to correct these injustices to ensure the future generations will be playing on a level field. What I want to prevent are instances of where business owners decide that it isn't even worth trying to bid for work because they know that they will be judged by what they look like rather than the quality of their work. I commend the Biden administration for taking bold steps to ensuring diversity and inclusion. Secretary Buttigieg has committed to working with me and this committee to identify ways to create a fair shot to compete for federal rail contracts. Information gathered from today's hearings will help inform Congress whether actions must be taken to address discrimination in the transportation sector. It is my sincere hope that today members can put themselves in other people's shoes, if just for a moment, to understand the damage a well-entrenched system of discrimination can cause to business owners simply trying to provide for their families and succeed in the rail industry. Some uncomfortable conversations need to be had to bring about a positive result. These conversations are not easy, but they are necessary. I again thank the witnesses for being here, and I look forward to their testimony.